Hello and welcome to this channel. My name is Peter Abraham. I'm a registered nurse with various experience in nursing, but extensively in hospice and palliative care. And I'm currently on the journey to become a certified death doula. I am going to school at the International Doula-Life movement. The link in that will be in the description below. That's founded by Anna Adams. It's run out of San Antonio, Texas, but it is an international school with live classes, self-paced classes, and on-site classes depending on location. And in my journey to become a death doula, I've been sharing different things. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you like what you're seeing, please feel free to comment. This is a non-judgmental space, and feel free to describe. In this channel, we talk about things related to being a hospice and palliative care nurse, being a holistic nurse, because I look at the mind, body, spirit, and soul. Not everything is a pill, a tablet, or liquid. Death and dying for those who are chronically ill, that the illness becomes terminal. Book authoring, as I have written many books. This is my #1 bestseller of all time and continues to perform well. And just sharing my journey to become a death doula. Before I go too far, I like to encourage everyone watching to do what I try to do every day, and that is ask one simple question: what are you grateful for today? I encourage you to start off with what are you grateful for today, and as you grow in resilience, start asking through the day. And for me, I didn't know what was going to happen towards the beginning of May. I had a lady reach out to me on LinkedIn. Could I give a discount for 2 of the books? Could I give a discount for this? And I'm not going to find it in time. The Mastering Dementia Admissions book. And Amazon does not allow you to give promo codes, discount codes, even if it's like, gee, I don't mind it coming out of my royalty, so Amazon's not losing anything. So I prayed about it, thought about different ways, and I did not want to go down the weird boundary of order author copies, but I'm selling them. Giving them away would be one thing, but selling them, so I prayed, and God was like, you have Nursing Week coming up, just lower the price for all of the nursing books, not just my hospice books, but the holistic nursing book. If it's a nursing book, see what I could do for how low I can go, but still be able to make ends meet, so to speak. And so I got up Friday, May 2nd, and it was like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. So I was trying to beat the traffic, so to speak, in terms of getting the prices changed. Because just because I put it on Amazon's end doesn't mean it's immediate out there for the consumer. But got it out there so that the prices would be updated by or before 8 a.m. And I said to myself that even if this lady does their agent, she was representing a hospice agency that had several branches in Virginia, even if they don't come through and buy what they told me they were going to buy in bulk, I'm going to follow God, and I'm going to go and reduce the price. And I'm not going to go and check and monitor, did she buy and did she do this and that, because that's on her, not me. And here, the books are selling like no tomorrow, so to speak. And I'm still a small-time author. If you mention Peter Abraham on the street, who? Nobody's going to know me, and I'm okay with that. But this yesterday when I went to bed, and let me put it that way, it was the 13th, and I'm keeping the pricing at least through the Friday evening of this week, even though Nurses Week is over. Just to, I figure Friday, crossing a Friday to another. So May 2nd to, oh my word, is this I think it's the 16th. Yes, the 16th. So as of yesterday evening, of all the different books, and right now pretty much only the nursing books are selling so far, 330 books that quickly. Usually I sell and it is not in the very beginning. So if you're into Amazon, I'm going to publish and you're going to make millions. I'm not saying people don't do well, but reality check. My first month, it was like uh, 80 bucks. Second month, 90 bucks. A month after that, dropped down into the 80s. It varies, but lately it's been in the high 400s to very low 500s. My best month was February of 2025 at 595, all the different books, not just one. But in 13 days to have 330 sell, thank you, God. I feel beyond blessed. Not because of reduced price, there's reduced royalties, but uh, I am very weird. Hopefully, it's in a good way. I cannot say money doesn't matter at all, but I'm grateful to help people. I started writing this to help my fellow hospice nurses, to help my fellow holistic nurses, my caregivers. And I just published, I got it done before my birthday. I wasn't rushing because I wanted quality. But I was like, oh, yay. I got the Becoming a Death Doula Foundations in Practice and Becoming a Death Doula Business Group. And they have not sold yet. That's fine. But I'm out there trying to help. So in moving on to the topic of this video, and I apologize, I do rabbit trail and I am verbose. I don't know if that's autism or INFJ or whatever. And I do have undiagnosed autism, high functioning, at least I'm told. Um, One of the aspects towards the end, and this is actually a thing to actually do lifelong so that when you get there, you could make something more meaningful, is to do what's called a legacy project. So for those who don't know, a legacy project is a type of honoring the life, celebrating the life of a person, either before they pass, which is actually going to be part of today's discussion, or after they have passed. It's better to do it before they've passed. And I worked at different hospice agencies, and usually it's the social worker, unless you have somebody specifically assigned to do the project with and for you. They are, which is, I did have one hospice agency, they actually had a legacy project coordinator. And this is something doulas, if you're an end of life educator, an end of life specialist, end of life coach, end of life doula, death doula, whatever your soul journey, you could be working with your loved ones on their legacy project. Some doulas out there are unable to be in a position to be a companion through the death or do vigil or provide CNA. Now it's non-medical, so there's fine print. If you're a non-medical doula, you're not supposed to be doing, bed baths per se, but you could be doing massages and other things. That's going to be, I'll leave the fine print to other people. But sticking to topic, legacies. So as I'm going through the journey of becoming a certified death doula through the International Doula-Life Movement, IDLM, I love researching. I love sharing what I'm researching, and I love writing about what I'm researching. So I actually started the third book in the Bridges to Eternity book series. The Bridges to Eternity book series. The first two books are out there on Amazon. The third book is going to be on helping end of life people, whether it be the social worker, the legacy project coordinator, the doula, to have ideas. You don't have to do this all, you're not alone. So I am writing a book, and I'm so excited about this because there is nothing like this on the market. And it's a multi-chapter book. I do not have no idea on the page count. I just finished chapter 3 yesterday. If you follow me on LinkedIn and Facebook, I did actually post about a video of a lady. I know this is a tight rabbit trail, who posted like how she writes romance novels without AI in 30 days or less. There are systems, and I got like I got friendly laughter from one of my readers and supporters on LinkedIn. This is so far from what you write about, Peter, but it was the concept of how you have a system in place that you could be publishing a book. It may not be a month. You might be slower, but you could be doing a book a year, a book a quarter, a book every other month, or a book a month. Or if you get like for me, I've been doing this so frequently that depending on the subject matter, I could probably do one every 15 to 21 days. And I'm not bragging. It just I enjoy. So I'm writing a book on legacies, and what's going to make this, first off, there's hardly anything out there, if anything. But what I'm doing to make this book as unique and as valuable as possible is I'm approaching it from two angles. Angle number one, which is part of the discussion today, is chapter 3 is about 50 legacy ideas that are broken down into different categories. Like this is auditory, visual, this is culinary, this is writing, and so on and so forth. So 50 ideas. And it's not just here's an idea, because you're going to see, because I'm going to be going over chapter 2 in brief here. But it's like here's the concept, here's the SMART goal: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time specific. Here's the SMART goal. Here is how to implement it, and here's a case study about it. So chapter 3, which is going to be the longest chapter in the book, is 50 ideas broken down into different categories. That's one shot. You already have. You don't have to go hunting. Here's 5. Here's 10. You have by category 50 ideas. Then other chapters, chapter 4, which I've not yet started, that'll be later on, today or tomorrow, as the time of this filming. But chapter 4 is going to be, what about if the person has 6 months or less? You have more time. Obviously, you could do all 50 if you have 6 months or less. But I'm going to be picking one or two to look at. What if you have 3 months? What if the person you're doing this for has a month? What if they have 2 weeks or less? So this is going to be really tightly focused. And I'm so excited about what I'm going to be showing you today, because I got a chance to meet the founder of Murial.Life. The name hits me, because if not that I, as an introvert who also has autism, I struggle with understanding art, and I struggle with understanding some types of creative concepts. But the whole idea of when you look at a legacy, in a way, it's a mural of somebody's life. So to call the web and the company name Murial.Life, I get goosebumps, and it's so moving. And I talked to Gary about this, and it was like, I don't know when our Zoom interview, because he asked for permission to record, may be made public, but like I'm excited because I'm going down the route of becoming a certified doula through IDLM, and a hospice nurse. So I'm still looking for part-time work there, and I'm communicating with others in the field. This is huge. This is a potential legacy project that crosses all prognoses. And the case study that I'm going to be just briefly touching on today is Jared's story, where it was the relative of a loved one who wanted to create this while they were still very functional, and they used Murial.Life to create a legacy. And it's very affordable, from zero for a 7-day obituary to $150 at the time of filming. That's lifetime for now. Hopefully it doesn't change, because I think that's very fairly priced for it to be out there for life. And it's done very differently from other websites that report to do the same thing. But let me run the overview, and this is not all of chapter 3. This is just looking at item number 2, the second idea out of the 50. Just to just give you a freebie. If you never want to buy the book, that's fine. Um, but here, that's out there, and I just want you to know about it. And in the description below, I'll put the link to Mural. I'll put the link to Jared's story, and I'll also throw in the link for those of you who like, hey, I want to find a school that is extremely well rounded. So in my Becoming a Death Doula book, I do have a conflict of interest statement. I do have a chapter 4 that goes over different schools. I go over several, but the more I'm taking classes with IDLM, and I've done research on the schools, I'm a research fanatic. It's like, wow, they are very well done. I'm not saying there's not room for improvement. I'm not saying you couldn't do better, but like, I am flabbergasted as to how well it's done. But before I go on that rabbit trail, let me show you the the second idea. From the upcoming book, chapter 3 goes over 50 different legacy ideas that provide SMART goal. SMART is your specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-specific goals. Goes over budget ranges, what materials that you would need, how you might source those materials, how you would implement, and gives a case study for each of the 50. And one of the ideas in the 50 I do want to go over, or I am going over today, lifetime obituaries. So I had the chance to do a Zoom meeting with Gary, the founder of Murial, to go over his thought process in this, and it's a beautiful idea and very well done. For those end-of-life doulas, death educators, life planners, hospice social workers, legacy planners, not only do I hope my book to be a good resource, because not only like you have chapter 3 that here's 50 ideas that are fleshed out, but other chapters of the book will look at what if you only have 6, what if the patient has 6 months to live? What if they have 3? What if they have 1? What if they have 2 weeks? What if you're under time pressure? Now, while this SMART goal, this is in chapter 3, again, the 50 that's there, it mentions 3 weeks to create this. Muriel has 2 methods of, I should say 2, using my fingers, 2 methods of creating the murals. One is by an end-of-life doula, social worker, legacy planner, and they're going to go in and use the visual page builder to map everything out and do the typing and so on. And then the second way is assisted, where you're basically doing the gathering of what people might say after somebody has passed away. Find out from them. Now, please, give your words now to family, neighbors, and friends. And the more that people put in, the better the outcome. But even if you just had one person put in using AI, sometimes it's a good word and sometimes it's not. I think it has its good applications. It can create the foundation for what's going to be presented and allow the human beings like the doula, the family members, the social worker, the legacy planner to edit. So it starts off at 0 for the basic plan, which I think is everybody could afford 0. And if you want a lifetime subscription, that's $150, which to me is of good value. And so every chapter, I shouldn't say every chapter, in chapter 3 and in the other chapters, when I go over, here's a legacy idea. There's going to be the legacy idea. So here it's lifetime obituary. So that would be the $150 version because the basic version is 7 days, just to be transparent. You have your budget range, what materials that you would need. And almost everybody, they have a cell phone with them around them. They can take photos. They could do video. It does sound recording. Sorry for the fast scrolling. I forget I'm on a PDF versus Word. Your sourcing is very easy for this. You're depending on what you have on your phone, it may be free. You may already have a recording app, but if you had to download an app or go to Best Buy or another location, you don't have to go to Best Buy. It's just listed in the book. Photo scanning service. You're going to put in some photos. You're going to do your information gathering, different writing approaches, and I did mention they have the assisted version, your multimedia elements, and your platform option, which is going to be uh, Murial. And then here I give a case study, and I'll link the YouTube in the description because this case study is out there on the internet where Murial was used while the person was still living. So Murial has very customizable, here's the day they were born, that what matters is between the dash, but you could hide the end date for when they passed, especially, they're still living and you want them to enjoy this from that time perspective. I'll see you on the outro. Thank you so much for your time watching that. I strongly believe legacies are so valuable because even with my mother-in-law, uh, my father-in-law, Laura and I lost tragically uh, due to a certain injectable uh, booster. And we didn't get a chance to do a legacy for him, and even with everything going on with her mom. But in a way we do, and ours is photography. But if you're out there working in the field and working with your families and your loved ones, Murial.Life is one way of many. But I just wanted to put the word out there for Gary and for those of you who are looking as to what can I do, especially if there's short time. Because in the idea number 2 of chapter 3 of the 50 ideas, it mentions that this is over 2 to 3 weeks. There are 2 different creation methods for Murial.Life. And this is not a how-to. I'm going to create it on my own, which to me, that's the way I would go personally. And I'm not saying it would take me that long, and I'm not trying to brag if I ever give timelines. It's just I can be focused, hyper. But they also have a AI assisted version where you get people to give commentary, and you as the doula or social worker or legacy project worker, you be taking notes, doing dictation. You could be getting the input of what about this person's life, and you could be typing it in, and it takes anywhere from 1 to 3 commentary before it'll start generating the material that gives you the chance to approve it, edit. And Gary was taking me through a walkthrough yesterday where you can, if you're the doula and let's say you quote own the project per se, you could be giving family members either the right to co-edit or just view. Wow, I am blown away. I hope you are too. So I do want to thank you for your time. If you like what you're seeing, please like. Questions, please ask. I don't know all the answers, but if I don't know the answer and it's inappropriate, like you're not trying to flush me out, so to speak, um, which I probably won't get because of my autism, I'm going to do my best to answer you. I'm going to do my best to help you. So thank you. God bless and bye.